Good evening, good afternoon, and hello. Welcome back to Career Tuesday. If you're watching this video, it's more likely Tuesday or it's on another day, but you're just stopping by to see little old me. But thank you all so much for joining me on the Ground and Bag podcast. It's Career Tuesday segment. And welcome to my channel, Rooted with Aiysha. Because Rooted with Aiysha has different elements. It also has different parts of my journey. And talking about careers, this is a part of my journey too, because I've came from the corporate world, the business world, and now I'm more in crisis care and I'm an MSW student at Howard University. I'm almost done. Then I have to study for my licensure, and I'm going to be sharing that journey, little excerpts of that journey on this channel. So a little bit about me. But most importantly speaking, I just want this career segment to be a place where we can just woosah for a moment. And I want to give my full introduction so we can be formal, but then get informal a little bit later. So welcome to the Ground and Bag podcast. I am your host, Aiysha Nsa. And if you have not already planted roots with me yet, please go ahead and do that. It's not only subscribing to this YouTube channel, like, share, and comment, but share. I cannot stress this enough because this also lets the YouTube multiverse know that you find value in this content. But also don't forget to listen to us on Spotify because we already have some podcast episodes on Spotify, but I am going to be ramping it up and adding more because there's a lot of in-depth conversations that I am not going to have on YouTube because I want to save another safe space for discussions that are more in-depth and that are more serious subject matters. So more to come with that. Make sure that you subscribe to the Ground and Bag podcast on Substack so that way you never miss any updates or latest conversations, because today we are going to be tackling another important discussion, but most importantly speaking, we are going to be tackling another important breakdown. Because without further ado, let's get things going. Because the most important thing that I want to make sure that we are just being very mindful and careful of is that we are just also having in-depth and important subject matter conversations, especially when it comes to careers. So today's discussion, let me fix my face. Hello. Today's discussion, and I'm going to try to keep this very brief. So I'm going to put 20 minutes on the timer because I want to make sure that if it's your 20-minute break or 15-minute break, however minutes that you have, I'm mindful of that. So we're going to do a 20-minute timer on the clock. Accountability. But let's get back into it. So today's discussion is when a job is no longer for you, discernment versus discomfort. Now let's get into the grounded questions, because oftentimes we put up or shut up, right? We do because we have to versus what we want to. And that's noble and honorable, especially when we're supporting our families and we feel emotionally and financially obligated to do what we have to, not because we really want to. But what if you had a choice to operate in faith versus operating in fear? Because there are moments where it's a lot of discomfort. I know for me, I had to make those hard decisions, and I also had to make those hard moments where I'm like, okay, I'm on leave, I'm using my time, but is this other employer going to accept me? Are they going to say yes? Because at the end of the day, even if I have references, even if I have X, Y, and Z, it's my experience, it's my education, it's what I'm putting forth. I had to do the interview. So there are many elements to that. And sometimes you also feel emotionally obligated because of the bonds that you've made either at your job or either the connections that you've made either in public and private spaces. And it almost makes you feel as if you're indebted. But there goes to our question is, am I uncomfortable because I'm growing or because I'm shrinking? So, like when you're at a certain point in your life, like either if you're like a little kid or like a preteen and your shoes are starting to get a little tighter and then you have to get a size up. Or let's say if you're growing as a woman, right? And your boobs are growing and you have to change the size of your boobs to a different bra. And, life happens and you have to size up and close. So these are physical manifestations of change. These are physical changes that are happening in real time. But when it comes to mental and spiritual growth and knowledge growth, you have those moments where you feel as if you're growing, right? You're actually growing, you're moving, and you're going in different levels professionally. And you feel like, okay, I'm getting somewhere. Won't he do it? It's about time. It's about that time that I did. But there are moments when you feel as if you're shrinking. Like you feel as if you're already there, but you feel as if you've touched the glass ceiling. There's nothing else for you to get here at this job or career or whatever is it that you're doing at this point in your life. And you feel as if, okay, I'm hitting, but I'm not going anywhere. And the only way for you to go is down or out. You don't want to go down because you know what it's like to be down, but you just stay at this place and you feel as if the more you know, the more you grow, the more you feel as if you're not getting anywhere. And you lean into the comfort zone route instead of the purposeful route. And you're like, okay, the discomfort, it's also a signal, not just a sentence, but it also means that you're feeling drained most of your days. How many people are feeling drained most of the days at a job that's not fulfilling you? I used to feel that way at the job that I used to work. You lost your passion. You're struggling to get that back. When I used to work in business sales, before that, I used to do YouTube. I used to consistently do my videos, do my reviews, do blah, blah, blah. Hey guys, I was doing, but I stopped. Passion was no longer there. The job was taking more time out of me. And also, I felt unappreciated a lot of my job, not by my associates, some, not all. Management was not what it needed to be. I stayed for security, but it wasn't fulfilling. I also felt as if I outgrew my environment because I am studying mental health, but my associates, I feel as if I got an opportunity to use what I know that I can use and do what I know that I can do, but there's still limitations to that. There were still limitations to what I could do and what I could say. So I would say discernment also had to align with my purpose, where I was adamant that before I leave this job, I'm going to work or be a part of an organization that is aligning with what I'm studying. I don't have to shrink myself. I can be my full self. And that way I can be on purpose. So this is what purpose looks like, because I work in the evening and I end in the morning and I'm still awake and it doesn't even look like I slept. It doesn't look like I worked the graveyard shift, right? Yep. Mm-hmm. And it's more than just the work environment. It also means that I'm aligning with my purpose. I'm also aligning with with who I am. And that also goes back to doing something where you don't mind losing sleep for, doing something that you don't mind risking it all for, in the elements of not dying, but in the elements of, it's leading somewhere versus knowing that it's leading nowhere. And that also goes back to, are you growing or shrinking? Why are you uncomfortable? Are you uncomfortable because it's a toxic work environment? Or are you uncomfortable because you feel as if you've committed, but the checks and balances, the dollars and cents, the purpose meets the goal is not aligning? So there's many elements to that. And that also leaves us to question number 2. Does my body feel safe in this environment? Because our bodies talk to us. Stress, sleep, draining. I remember I had a manager. She was amazing. I told her that I don't feel like myself. I committed to this job, my mind, my heart, and I feel like I'm draining, I'm depleted. So oftentimes that also creates a disconnect. And I'm like, I have to take the day off. You can take how many days off as you want to, but if you're still thinking about that same job when you're off, that means that you're not even resting. You're literally multitasking. You're literally just counting the days until you can get back to that job. So granted, some career paths require a lot of commitment. Let's say if you're an on-call individual, or let's say if you're a lawyer or doctor, or nurse, there's some work careers that require a little bit more commitment and a lot of levels there. But what I would honestly say, what really taught me that, is that even if you're in those roles, you need a balance. Even in my current role in crisis care, I have a very delicate balance where I'm also prioritizing my mental health, also prioritizing my spiritual health, and also reminding myself that God has a plan and a purpose for me, even if I may not fully know the plan to the fullest extent. I know that I'm on the path. You know what I'm saying? And it's very hard and difficult when you feel as if your back is against the wall, financial woes. What am I going to do? This world is doing what it's doing. um, as well as the things are changing. Education. If I get my degree, am I going to be able to work in my degree? Am I going to get a job after I, graduate? These are different things that are coming towards us, and we're going to get into that in future episodes about working your way up, entry level wisdom, how to get up 10 at the same time that you're getting up from level number 1. So there's so much levels to it, and there's so much elements that we often disregard, and the optimism is lost. So the overall goal here is discernment versus discomfort. And discernment, many individuals confuse that with preference. Discernment is knowing your worth even when you know that the status quo is looking right back at you as if this is the only option. And discernment is also knowing when your body is talking to you instead of, oh, I'll hit it up again. I'll call my body back. But no, there's only one of us. There's only one Aiysha on this planet that's like me. There's only one person that has your mind, your spirit, your intellect, your presence. So sacrificing that for a job, a person, place, or thing is not worth it. It's not. Because you also have to ask yourself this question. If you make that decision, are you going to be okay with that decision? And are you going to have acrimonious feelings once you've realized that you made the wrong choice? Because I had to reconcile that with myself, especially when you've committed 5 years to an organization and a company and you feel as if it didn't give you the same commitment that you gave it. So I had to reconcile that for myself with a lot of prayer, a lot of reflecting, and a lot of remembering of the individuals whom I've touched, the individuals who I'm still blessed to have in my life, but also sometimes separating and detaching from individuals who you used to work with can also be very hard. But if it's for your mental health and your spirit, sometimes they may not understand, sometimes they may not even know. But I do hope and pray that they're well. And for me, mentally speaking, I needed to do that. And sometimes in life, you may have to, and individuals may not be privy to it. They may not be able to handle it, or they may not know. So I say this right now is that we're all at different levels. We're all at different places in our lives. But the most important thing is respecting each other as we're going through it and wishing each other well. Because you don't know what someone's going through. You also don't know what someone's path is and where it's leading. And sometimes friendships or connections are temporary. They're not permanent. That's the hardest thing. So I leave you with this. Does your body feel safe in this environment? If it's a no, then I have, or a yes, yes or no, I have reflection questions that I'll be listing in the Substack blog post for this video that will have 5 additional questions. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, 5 additional questions to the 2 that we talked about. And we're going to have you answer that for yourself. Because no matter if I give you questions, no matter if I give you the answers to those questions, each question and each answer looks different for each person. So I will leave you with that. Because the overall goal is for you to feel safe, seen and heard, but also respected. And support exists for you even in moments like this. So please take what resonates with you today from this video, from this podcast, and most importantly, move gently with yourself from here on out. Because it's a lot that's happening. It's a lot of noise economically, government wise, every wise you can think of. It's a lot of noise. So I just want you to know to move gently with yourself and really respect the journey that it's taking you to get there. And I'm your host, Aiysha. And until next time, be kind to your mind. Keep choosing yourself one moment at a time. And please make sure that you subscribe to this YouTube channel, like, share, and comment. And make sure that you hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any videos that is published. And check out my shorts. Check out my shorts that I post. Follow me on Instagram, Rooted with Aiysha. Follow me on TikTok, Rooted with Aiysha. Follow me on X, Lord, social media, Rooted with Aiysha. Follow me there. We're on Instagram. I primarily am sharing all of my podcast content, and more in-depth content will be shared on my Instagram. And I look forward to watching the channel grow even more. Like, we're on mission to get to 1,000 subscribers. So help your girl out. But most importantly, I take it back. You are already helping me. Just you being here and embracing this journey with me. So I want to thank you. But subscribe, help your girl out if you can. But until next time, all, stay safe, stay blessed, and take care of yourself. Until next time, see you next Tuesday. I'll be right here, same time.